Suroosh Alvi went to Pakistan and found out that American drones are doing more harm than good. This is his debrief.
The drone strikes have a pretty heavy psychological effect on the pilots, on the drone pilots. And you have this idea that, oh, they're just, playing video games and pressing a button, and that's the extent of it. But the reality is that these drone operators and drone pilots actually see the impact of the bomb when it hits, and they see their targets blowing up. So in the case of Brandon Bryant, the drone pilot that we interviewed, he saw young kids who were blown up. And so even though he was playing a video game, it had a pretty heavy psychological effect. So what we discovered was that PTSD exists with drone pilots. On the receiving end, the people who live in communities where drones are flying above their heads in Pakistan, South Waziristan, North Waziristan, in the tribal belt, it has a very heavy traumatic effect on them as well, because they never know when they're going to strike. So they just hear them buzzing all the time. It keeps them up at night and it drives them crazy. So that madrassa is one of the largest in Pakistan, and it's run by Maulana Samiul Haq, and he is currently negotiating on the behalf of the Taliban in the peace talks with the Pakistani government. So he's a pretty big deal in that world, and gaining access was not easy, but we have a friend. He's one of the most respected journalists in Pakistan. His name is Rahimullah Yousafzai, and he spoke to Maulana Samiul Haq and explained to him that there was a screw from the States and that we wanted to get his perspective on things, about drones specifically, and they agreed. People want to talk about the impact of drones. The people in Pakistan are universally pissed off about it. And it's not just the militants, but it was interesting to go in and see these young kids who are being indoctrinated and also who are growing up very angry as a result of these drone strikes. We spent a day at Sabaun, the de-radicalization school in Swat Valley, where a lot of the young militants who were picked up when the army went in and liquidated the Taliban from Swat Valley. They basically captured these young Taliban fighters and future suicide bombers, and instead of putting them in jail, they put them in this rehabilitation school. From what I could tell, it was showing them that there's a whole other world out there beyond what the Taliban is telling them exists. It boils down to education and having classes and teaching them, math and science and languages and having sports and letting kids be kids and letting these kids dream that one day they can be a pilot in the Air Force or that they can become a doctor. They created the opportunity for these kids to become kids and to have pride in going to the school and not feeling that they were stigmatized because they had been part of the Taliban. I think drones have become part of the military doctrine, and whether it's Yemen or Pakistan or Afghanistan, drones are here to stay, and they're only going to increase with time. So I don't think there is an alternative to drones because they are incredibly effective for certain purposes. We just have to realize that there is a whole other side to drone strikes, especially when they screw up and they kill innocent civilians. That's a problem.